Alright, today we'll be looking at some programs running in Wine, how to use Wine, and what it is. So, Wine is a compatibility layer for Windows on different operating systems. So, that means you can run some Windows programs on Linux and also FreeBSD and macOS and other Unix-like operating systems. And today I have the Wine staging version, which is the staging branch, which is essentially experimental. And if you are pretty much on any distribution, you can just go, if you have a graphical package manager, you can go to your graphical package manager and probably get it. But if you're on Ubuntu, Debian, and those derivatives, sudo apt install wine will work for me. Use pacman minus s wine or wine staging. Then if you're using OpenSUSE zipper, install wine, and I'm sure you know your distribution's package manager, so I won't get too much into that. However, I will get into the program itself. And I really want to take this into an approach that is essentially very newbie friendly. So I'm kind of going to approach this like a Windows user would. So if you're scared of me just by opening that terminal, you don't have to worry, it's fine. So the first program we'll work at is 3D Pinball Space Cadet. And we have the Windows executable here. And when we execute it, I execute it, it'll be executed with Wine Windows Program Loader. So I can do that now. Okay, double click that. There we go. And as you can see, we have 3D Pinball Space Cadet. And for those in their Windows XP fans, you know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. But we got the pinball. We can launch the pinball. Watch the pinball take 5 hours to get to the bottom. Helplessly not be able to touch it. It works. It's a working game. You can go to About Pinball, and you can see it's 3D Pinball for Windows Space Cadet. Created for Microsoft by Maxis, running on Wine 6.3, excuse me. And this would normally tell you your Windows version, but it's actually Wine for me. So, as you can see, it works. And it's a very simple program, very old, so you can... I'm not going to say it was easy, but it did. It works. The project has certainly put a lot of effort into making sure these things work. But next we have Cpuz. Can execute it like a regular application. Give it a second to load up. And as you can see, we have the Cpuz installer. We can accept this agreement, accept location, accept the whatever that was, create a desktop icon, and this can even, desktop icons even work well too. And accept all these, give it a hot second. And as you can see, it asks us to view this text file. And if you've ever installed Cpuz before, it'll open a notepad. As you can see, we actually do have notepad. It is not the Microsoft WordPad. They couldn't include that because of licensing reasons, but notepad, excuse me. But it's here. You can, type our stuff. All that jazz. We don't want to save this changes, but now we have Cpuz. We can execute it. And watch as it starts up. As you can see, it actually provides accurate information about my processor. It is an Intel Celeron. You can look at the motherboard, memory. I don't have 6 gigabytes of memory. I actually have 4 gigabytes. So that's a little inaccurate, but that's okay. Graphics doesn't seem to appear to work. We can do benchmarks and we can look at information, and yeah, you can see that it works. And you'll also notice that it tells us that we're running Microsoft Windows 7 Ultimate Edition. And you might be wondering, does this pertain to the Wine version? Can we change this? And we can. Wine has its own individual programs that kind of are included. One of them is Wine CFG. I can run that. As you see, we have our Wine configuration. And as you can see, my Windows version is set to Windows 7. We can set it to anywhere between Windows 10 to Windows XP. You got newer applications, you want to probably do Windows 10 XP for older applications. Whatever era it came from, it's probably a good idea. And if you have one that's from a newer era, one that's from an older era, you can set program-specific rules. You can also do DLL overrides, change graphic settings. You can even change a theme, what folders are mounted to where in your C users folder. There are drives, you can see where they're mounted. And we can even, so we got some, don't actually have a Linux Mint USB stick in here, but it says I do. You can remove it and add another mount location via drive letter. Maybe we can E-drive and that would be the root, but we don't want to do that. Anyways, go to audio and test the sound. Makes a little bubbly sound, really nice. Output devices, input devices for your microphone speakers, staging, your experimental settings. And we got our about section. So it's where you configure it. Okay, so now we can see that it works. And let's say that we don't want this program anymore. As you know, in Windows, there is a way to uninstall programs via a menu. We can go there via Wine Uninstaller. It is not the same, but it's here. So as you can see, we got our programs. And let's say we want to uninstall Cpuz. You can click modify/remove. Are you sure you want to completely remove Cpuz and all components? We can hit yes. And it was successfully removed from our computer. And we can hit OK. Now we can check out. So here's one that I already installed. And we can also delete this. We already have it installed. Here's Fruity Loop Studio. I already have it installed because it takes a while. And we can execute it. Give it a hot second. So you can see we got our fruit here. But we get an error. It's encountered an error and needs to restart. We got some exception errors. List index out of bounds. So it's just issues with the binary compatibility. It's not been fully done yet. But just this dialogue window looks really good. It looks exactly like the application would. And we can hit OK. And it's gone. And I'll be uninstalling it later because it doesn't work. I tested it earlier just for that reason. And upon a friend request, we can install Opera GX. So you can see we have the installer here. We can execute it like a normal program. See, we have the Opera GX setup. And Is that a valid install path? Huh? Let's uncheck that. Users, Matthew. App data, local. Folder. Bit rough in my Windows expertise, but that should be valid. Yep. Big brain. See, the buttons disappeared for some second. But we can install. And I haven't installed this yet, so we'll see what happens. And failed to download Opera. Gosh dang. No. Let's try again. Get full installer? Sure. Oh, it's gonna open in Wine. Please don't open in Wine Explorer. Oh no, it opens up in my correct default browser. Heck yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, dog. It's not let me grab it. This might be my best decision this year. Yeah, really. Doubt. Oh, this is the normal Opera. Alright. Well, Robert Opera GX doesn't work. But there are free and open source browsers out there for you. But yeah, that was just a basic overview. I can't really think of anything off the top. Oh, I know. Something I can show. I don't even know if I need to run that in a terminal. Our normal programs work. Can line run.exe, for example. Let's open up Half-Life 2, because that actually works. That didn't work. Okay, wine cmd.exe. Let's see if this works properly. No, there's something. It's wine. Far wines. Wine console. Here we are. So you're gonna recognize this probably. This is the Microsoft command prompt. dir. And it's here. It works. Anyways, we'll try. Because want to probably see Half-Life work. Start that up real quick. Yeah, it works. Options. Check out all that jazz. Everything works. Yeah, I don't want to freeze my computer too bad while I'm recording, but there you are. That was a basic overview. I hope you enjoyed.